What is good, guys? It's Charles from Team COG. Coming to you guys here with another Infernoble video. Today we're going to be doing test hands. We haven't done test hands for quite a long time, actually. I thought it'd be a good thing to show you guys like the sequencing, so show you guys like, you know, just the deck in action kind of in a way, and give like a walk by walk, a step-by-step explain through of like thought processing and stuff like that I have. But yeah, so if you guys want to help support the channel, you know what to do. Check the links down in the description below, and stay tuned for the new revamped Ordained by Flame and the Song of Roll Employment coming out to the store. And if you actually want to save 15% on all merch from the store, go ahead and become a member. Hit that join button. Supporting the channel allows us to get, editors, allows me to like know that I'm doing good, and supporting the channel goes a long way. But enough of the whole the whole sell stuff right there. So let's go ahead and jump in, shuffle up here, and get our first test hand. Okay, guys, we're all shuffled up. We'll just do a quick cut, and just to make sure you guys know I'm not stacking, we'll do the top 5 cards to the bottom of the deck here. So, we'll go ahead and see our first hand. Joyous, Faithful Joyous, Renaud, Gearfried, Ogier, and Droll and Lockbird. So, this hand is actually really good. So we have a lot of things we can honestly do looking at it. I think what we'll do is we'll normal summon Ogier to go ahead and Foolish Burial down Durandal. So we'll go ahead and send the Durandal, Then we can special summon out here. Oh, wait, yeah. Actually, we can go ahead and we can banish this to summon out Gearfried. Then we can special summon out here Durandal, or Renaud, grab him back to Durandal. Okay, there we go. Now we're all on the same, now we're all on the same category here. Now, like, in theory, like, this is our 1, 2, 3. We could go ahead and equip Joyous if we wanted to go ahead and, like, be Nibiru. Like, if we wanted to, like, Durandal resolve, however, like, if Durandal doesn't resolve, it's not the end of the world. However, if they have Droll, we've actually been able to play under Droll here. So let's go ahead and equip Joyous to Gearfried. Go ahead and use Durandal's effect to go ahead and send itself to add us an Oliver. We'll grab Oliver right here. Then, so, like, we have the ability to go ahead and, like, go into like Angelica lines, but I think I'm gonna want to go for it through like to Isolde. Isolde, bring back, dump. That'll give us like the metal silver stuff. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Technically, we could go ahead and go into like Angelica, grab the field spell, go ahead and equip special, end on Charles if we wanted to, but I think this right here is better. We'll go ahead and make Isolde, Two Tales of the Noble Knight. Isolde's effect on summon, we'll go ahead and grab us a Fire Ward that we won't use. We'll go ahead, or a warrior that we won't use. We're gonna grab Connector for follow-up. Then we'll go ahead and use the effect. We'll send 1, 2, 3, and 4. Send 4. Summon Turpin. We can banish 2 here if we want to add back the Phoenix Blade, or we can end up just sending Joyous. At this point, if they're holding Droll or something like that, like we would be probably negating it already. So let's just go ahead and go Phoenix Blade effect by banishing the 2 warriors. That's okay. Then we can go ahead and go Oliver effect, pitch to summon, level 1. Go ahead and synchro here for Angelica. Angelica's effect on summon will go ahead and allow us to pick up the museum. No Alarms Museum. We then can activate the museum. We won't use Museum's effect yet, because I'm going to use the Turpin effect. Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll use Turpin's effect to target the Angelica. Chain Angelica. We will send Malgus, tag out, and summon out into Roland. Now we will then trigger the Malgus to shuffle back 1, 2, 3, and we'll draw a card. I don't know if that was correct. This just allows us to pick up another card, I guess, is what I was like really seeing. So we'll do a quick shuffle. Go ahead and cut, and then we get to draw 1. So we draw Durandal, which isn't the best, but it's still something. So then we'll go ahead and use the No Alarms Museum effect to go ahead and grab us Almus. Now we'll go ahead and use No Alarms Museum, or not. We won't use the museum's effect. We'll go use Turpin's effect to special summon itself to go ahead and synchro here into Charles, and then we can technically we can equip. We can put Almus to Charles, then we can link it off into Charles, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, add us back the Ogier for follow-up, and then this will go ahead and equip here the Emperor. Now we can use the museum's effect to go ahead and special summon out the Charles, and then I believe we could technically banish 2 again. I don't think that's going to be correct. I think we just go ahead and use the Durandal that we draw, because we can equip multiple Durandals. So we'll go ahead and equip another Durandal. Link here into the second Charles. And then this will grab Charles from the graveyard. Now we can go ahead and use Oliver's effect to equip to this Charles right here. And then I think we just move on to the end phase. Angelica gets to return. Charles will pick up the metal silver from the grave. And then he will equip from the deck Ogier. So there we go. So this is what our ending board is. We actually get to end pretty well. We actually have 2 spell and trap negates, a pop, Gearfried negate, and we opened Droll. So that's not too bad. And nothing can be targeted. Metal silver, again, if you guys don't understand, metal silver says anything that targets a monster has to target Charles, and you can't target Charles. Charles cannot be destroyed or targeted. So that's pretty good. You can actually use Gearfried to be able to send something. Arguably, once Charles hit down, we could have used Joyous to add back, like Malgus or something, but we want to keep Malgus because we'll be able to use its effect to like shuffle things back, which is really cool. Especially during the end phase, like if we do it, because like technically speaking, we are going to be sending three equips is going to be going, so like that's going to fuel the graveyard. So like we'll just go off to the opponent's turn just to kind of like hypothetically show. Charles effect will send this. We'll say Gearfried sends this. We'll say the other Charles sends this, right? I guess it really doesn't matter if Charles even picks up anything truly. I guess you could pick up Joyous and then attach from the deck another Ogier if you want to. You don't have to. For some reason, I had a brain fart and was thinking that Charles was able to pick up a Fire Warrior from grave, but he doesn't get to do that. But anyway, we'll also say we drop Droll. We draw for turn, draw another Droll, which I guess it is what it is. We then can fire off, if we want to, we can go ahead and use the Malgus effect in grave to go ahead and equip, Charles effect to destroy, and then like again, we can shuffle up to 3, so we can shuffle back Ogier. Now we can shuffle back up to 3 and draw the other card, but that's just to show you guys like how cool Malgus is, because Malgus just allows us to have it like that resource gain, which is really nice. But we'll go ahead and shuffle it up and do another test hand. Okay guys, we are all shuffled up here. We will just go ahead and do a quick cut as normal, and then we'll do the top 5 to the bottom, just to make sure, like, so you guys know I'm not stacking, not snacking, but we'll go ahead and top 5 to the bottom, and we will draw our first 5 cards, which is going to be Inperm, Museum, another Museum, Call by the Grave, and Durandal. We have no monsters, so like we really can't do anything. If we were going second, we would draw Dolphin, which this is better than nothing. This would actually be able to probably get us going places, but anyway, yeah, that's second. This is probably the worst hand I've actually seen with the deck thus far. Okay guys, third test hand, we'll go ahead and do a quick cut, and again, we will do the top 5 to the bottom. At least with that last test hand, you guys know, like I'm like not stacking, because like that hand was really unfortunate. So we'll go ahead and draw our cards. We draw Chalice, we draw Ogier and Gearfried again, we draw Connector, and we draw this right here. So with this hand looking right here, we're actually going to go with the Dolphin route. So like since we hard open Gearfried, even if we didn't hard open Gearfried, we'd still go the Connector route, just because like we have the ability to grab Oliver, which Oliver allows us to extend through. So we'll go ahead and normal summon Connector. We'll go ahead and use Connector's effect. And for the sake of argument, let's just go ahead and say that they end up ashing this, right? Let's just do that. Let's just say they ash the Connector, because they're either going to ash it or not. We then can go ahead and fire off Heritage of the Chalice, and then we can have 2 different options. We can go ahead and straight grab Oliver, which is probably the way to play around Droll, or we could grab the field spell if we wanted. We actually can do a lot of routes. So the way to play around Droll is you just go ahead and you grab the Oliver. This is the way to play around Droll. You grab Oliver, and well, is it really the way to play around Droll? I don't think it actually is.
A few moments later.
I think we lose the Droll, because even if we cut through and we grab this, they hit us with Droll. We make Angelica. Angelica doesn't really do nothing, I would say. I mean, like technically we can get to Charles, right? So yeah, because if okay. This does beat Droll, because if we do any other option, like we grab Durandal, we grab the field spell, we're just left in the water. So let's assume they hit us with Droll here. So they hit us with Droll. We'll go ahead and fire off Oliver, pitch here to summon out this. And then this is why Oliver is like super important, guys, is because Oliver allows when Connector gets interrupted, allows when like Ogier gets disrupted, to allow us to push through. So we'll go ahead and synchro here. We technically could make Isolde, but like the way our hand is functioning, it'd be very difficult, especially under Droll. We can't combo with Isolde under Droll. So we're gonna go ahead and make Angelica. Oliver effect to attach itself to Angelica. We'll chain Angelica's effect, sending the Turpin. And then she will banish herself and then summon out Roland. Remember, we're doing this under Droll. So we go ahead and summon out Roland. We then can go ahead and activate Phoenix Blade to banish Oliver and the connector to go ahead and equip the Phoenix Blade. We can then special summon out this guy, and then we can go ahead and right into Charles, or yeah, right into the Emperor Charles. Then we can go Roland effect to attach itself. And then we can just link these guys away into Charles the Great. And then we can go ahead and attach this Charles here. And then Gearfried effect to, oh, that's kind of rough. Yeah, I think we can just go ahead and banish Charles to summon Gearfried. And then we move on into the end phase. And end phase Angelica returns, and Charles will pick up Divine Sword. And we can grab, do that, so we go right here. So technically, through Droll, we were able to put up 3 disruptions. We were able to put up a spell and trap negate with Charles. We're gonna be able to pop something, and we have a monster negate with the Gearfried. So, not too shabby under Droll. This is why this deck really kind of shines against Droll, because like, hand dependent, right? If we actually open just all search cards and they like hit us on our first one, it's kind of rough, but that's okay. Yeah, so let's go ahead and shuffle it up and do another test hand. All right, we're all shuffled up. Let's go ahead and do our cut and our top 5. So this hand will play through without any disruptions, hopefully. And, well, we'll do it without any disruptions, because that last hand we showed you play through like Ash and Droll, which is like really impactful. So we'll go ahead and just draw our first 5 cards. Inperm, Rhoda, Museum, Chalice, and Call by the Grave. So this hand is pretty wild, not gonna lie. So we'll go ahead and just go and fire off Rhoda. And Rhoda will grab us the Dolphin. Conveniently enough, I believe, even if Connector gets ashed with this hand here, or if Connector gets Inpermed, like if they have Ash, we can call by it, so like, that's okay. But like seeing if like Connector gets Inpermed, we'll go ahead and normal summon out the Connector. We will then go ahead and use Connector's effect to bring out, excuse me, summon from the deck Dolphin. We'll use Dolphin's effect to go ahead and hit him with the, just go ahead and discard the Imperm, and we will have looped him for exactly 1 card. Now the real question is, do we want to loop him for more? Especially since we have call by, we see their hand, we can technically loop him for, we can technically hit him for 2 more, or like 1 more card actually, because we can use Chalice, grab Durandal. I don't think we can. We won't test it. We won't test the face. We'll go ahead and make Isolde. We'll go ahead and use Isolde's effect on summon to go ahead and grab us the red layer, wherever it is. There we go, red layer. We'll then go ahead and use the effect to go ahead and send 4. So we'll send 1, 2, 3, and 4 to summon out Ogier. Then Ogier's effect on summon, we get to go ahead and send Turpin. Turpin will go to the grave, wherever he's at, there he is. Turpin goes here. We will then banish 2 for Phoenix Blade to go ahead and grab back. We then will attach Phoenix Blade to Ogier, special summon out the Turpin, and then we'll just go ahead and overlay here for our Torgus. Our Torgus' effect will fire off. We'll end up equipping as up to 3. We'll equip Durandal and Joyous. We will then go ahead and use Durandal's effect to go ahead and add us the Ricardetto. I believe, if this is correct, I think we're going to be able to end on Charles, Gearfried, Baron, with a draw with the Malgus at the end. And Ratin, I'm pretty sure. So we'll go ahead and we'll link into the Great Shogun, or Ratin. I almost said the Great Shogun. The Great Ratin, the Heavenly General, triggering the effect of the Joyous in the grave, wherever it's at, triggering Joyous, to be able to special summon out Ricardetto. Ricardetto will reborn either Turpin or all Ogier. We'll just go ahead and bring back Ogier. And then we will go ahead and go right here for Angelica. We'll go ahead and just do Angelica in defense. Angelica's effect, we get to add ourselves a museum. We will then, as soon as I find this museum, We'll go ahead and activate the museum, pay 12 to go ahead and grab us the Almas. So then we'll go ahead and use Divine Swords effect again by banishing 2. We'll just banish the Artorigus and the Isolde. We'll attempt to equip it to the Angelica, chain Angelica's effect to send Gearfried. Then she will banish herself and then summon out Roland. Now remember guys, if they see us rolling, they're hating. So right here, we actually will use Turpin's effect to attach itself to the Roland. We'll use this field spell effect to special summon out the Roland, and then we will go ahead and synchro into our Synchro Charles, and then we will go ahead and equip it with Almas, and then link off into Chuck. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, we'll get to add back the Gearfried to our hand and equip the Charles. So now we'll go ahead and activate another Heritage of the Chalice, or activate another Noble Arms. We'll go ahead and grab Durandal, and then we'll use Heritage of the Chalice to grab us Oliver. There we go, sorry. Skipping ahead of my mind. So here we go. We'll go ahead and use this Noble Arms Museum to special summon out Charles. Then, let's see, we can actually even do more, I would say. We'll go ahead and activate here to go ahead and banish... Goodness, we can banish Turpin. We'll banish Turpin, and we'll banish Ricardetto. We'll then use Oliver's effect to go ahead and summon itself and pitch the Divine Sword. Then we go ahead and we synchro into Baron. And then for the last piece of the puzzle, you fire off Gearfried by banishing, we'll just banish the Almas. Almas is actually a card like that's really good for recurring too, so like I found myself putting Almas back quite a bit. We'll go right here. We'll go Ogier's effect, or Oliver's effect to equip to Charles. We'll then go ahead and use Ogier's effect to equip to Charles. And then I believe, like I'm not even going to set because of space, I don't think, or let's see, if we set here, we equipped, boom, boom, yeah. That's okay, yeah. So we'll set Call by the Grave. Over here, this is our hand. We'll put our hand right here. So then we'll move on to the end phase, and Angelica comes back out. Charles will pick up the Metal Silver Armor, and then equip from the deck Malgus. We will then use Charles's effect, since the card was equipped to destroy the Malgus. And now we get to shuffle back 3. So I recommend shuffling back 1, 2, 3. You shuffle back these 3. You don't have to shuffle back Ricardetto, but both these cards are really good. Like if we top deck, any of these 2 cards are good. And we'll definitely be able to trigger the Malgus again if we really need to. So we go ahead and shuffle it up. And then this is where like maybe we'll draw like Droll or something like that. That's kind of why I don't like Inperm, because Inperm is it's a good card off the rip, but like drawing it like now isn't too good. But I guess like, you know, it's still good. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll actually do a quick cut just so it's fair. And we'll draw Turpin again. So that's okay. So this is our end board here. So again, just by opening 1 field spell, it gives us this entire thing. So let's break it down with what we got. We have a Call by the Grave, which I'm not going to count because we drew it. But right now we have a total of a Charles that cannot be targeted or destroyed. Your opponent cannot target monsters, period. Monster Reborn, Call by the Grave. Anything that activates that targets a card has to target Charles, and it can't because of Oliver. You have Omni Negate with Baron de Fleur. You have a Monster Negate with the Gearfried. You have Retin, which is a Battle Phase Pop, and I actually forgot that we actually have a Spell and Trap Negate with Charles, and since we have Roland in the grave, we have a Pop. So guys, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forms of disruption. And then if you actually want to go ahead and count the call by, we have 6 forms of disruption with the targeting lock. So that's like really crazy to me. And we have 3 cards in hand. And again, like during the next turn, we can equip this, pop it, draw again. So we're going to end up by potentially our next turn, we're going to have 5 cards in hand, which is really insane. But anyway, let's just go and shove it up and do another test hand. I think we'll just keep doing test hands till I'm tired of doing test hands. Okay, guys, here we go. We'll go ahead and do a quick cut. And then again, we'll take the top 5 this time. Put to the bottom. And then let's draw our first 5 cards. Durandal, Ricardetto, Connector, which is crazy, Gearfried, and Oliver. So again, this hand, like if we normal summon the Connector, we get to play. So right now, let's just go ahead and say that we play through Inperm. Because some people say that the reason Connector is bad is because you Inperm or Ash Connector, we can't continue. So we'll just showcase what you do when you can continue. We won't incorporate Droll in this one. We'll show you like what the full potential is playing underneath. So we'll go ahead and we'll normal summon out the Connector, activate the effect. We're going to get hit with a Ash Blossom. So now we have multiple, we really have multiple options we can do, and I think I'm actually gonna do it this route. I'm gonna go ahead and use Durandal, use its effect to send itself to go ahead and grab us Turpin. So that we can send our, that way we can again send our, send off of Angelica will be Malgus to get us another card to allow us to draw a card. So we'll go ahead and do this. And really, like, we have so many different lines we could do. We could literally skip Isolde completely, go right into Angelica if we wanted, but I think that what we're gonna do, because the only bad thing about skipping the Isolde is we lose the potential to end in Rattan, and I know some people like don't like Rattan, but Rattan honestly is kind of crazy. It's a pseudo disruption during the battle phase, so before your opponent even decides to like clear anything, they gotta clear the general because the general will pop it. There's another card I want to pick up that I might play because during my testing, Lavavel X-Lord has not come up, and it's the Power Load Ogre because it's just a big towers. That's something that I've thought about doing, but we aren't there yet. So to continue on, we'll go ahead and use this and pitch to special summon out. We technically, I mean, really, honestly, like we could fire off Gearfried here and then use Turpin's effect to attack.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Okay, guys, so we're back at this point. We normal summon Connector. Connector got ashed. We'll go ahead and fire off Durandal, use Durandal's effect to grab Turpin. We'll go ahead and special summon out the Oliver by ditching the Turpin. And we'll go ahead and synchro here for Angelica. We'll summon Angelica. We'll use her effect to grab the field spell. And then we'll go ahead and activate the field spell, paying 12, and we'll go ahead and grab ourselves the Almus. Now, let's see here. We'll go ahead and use Oliver's effect to attempt to target, and then we'll chain the ability here to send. So we could send... I think we send... Yeah, we send off Renaud. I think that's correct. This falls off, this banishes, and we summon out Roland. And then we go ahead and activate the Almus. Special summon out the Turpin. We get to synchro here for Charles. We will then use the effect of Almus to add back the Renaud. Then we can go ahead and use the Roland to attach itself to Charles. We then link off the Charles and go into another Charles, his Super Saiyan form, right here. And then this will grab here. We'll use Museum's effect to special summon itself. And then we can go ahead and special summon out Renaud. Use Renaud's effect, we can grab back a banished or right here. So I think I'll just go ahead and grab back the Almus. We then the synchro here for Baron Lefleur. Oh, that's not Baron, but we'll go ahead and synchro for Baron. And then we can go ahead and use... Now see, this is again a misplay by adding back the equipped, because then Charles' effect won't trigger. So we actually won't add back Almus. When we use the Renaud, we'll just go ahead and add back Turpin. Or do we even add back anything? Do we recur anything? Because if we have to add back... Well, yeah, we're just going to add back Oliver. Yeah, because like we used Oliver's effect already, so there's no point keeping the graveyard. So anyway, we'll go ahead and fire off Gearfried by banishing the Almus. And then we can proceed to move to the end phase. So I feel like being a little greedy because like we could potentially rip into Droll. Because Droll's like such a blowout, like even like right now. So I think at the end phase, Charles will pick up Durandal, and then equipped from the deck, the Malgus. Now again, you don't have to do Malgus, guys. You could use Ogier, you could do Oliver. Truly, like seriously, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want, but we're trying to just showcase you guys. That's what test hands are about. Charles' effect to destroy the Malgus, and then we get to shuffle back in 3. So I think we'll shuffle back in 1. I've kind of in a world thought about shuffling back in Angelica just because I hate that it comes out and it's just a body sitting here. However, I'm not going to. We'll shuffle back in Almus, this, and let's go ahead and put back Renaud. We'll keep the Charles because like we don't need to put back the Charles because of we have a second one already. We'll go ahead and shuffle, and then we'll get to draw. So like if we rip Droll here, like we're just too good at the game, but draw. We rip Connector, which is okay. And this is the end board. So again, staring down 4 disruptions. We're staring down a Charles that's a spell and trap negate. We're staring down a him which is also a pop, thankful to Roland to be able to fire off and equipped. We're staring down a monster negate and an omni negate, which is pretty decent. I guess there's something cool to also bring out here is that Angelic Return is that during the standby phase you can bring back out Charles by Baron returning back, and then like we have Oliver as follow-up, or we can just normal summon the Recordite and make it again if we really want to. Just again, some interesting plays like you can do with the deck, but Yeah, all right, sweet. Let's go ahead and shuffle it up and do another test hand. All right, guys, here we go. All shuffled up. We'll do the cut, and then we'll do the top 5 as per normal. There we go. And let's see what our opening hand is. Durandal, Museum, Impermanence, Ogier, and Droll and Lockbird. So, yeah, this hand's pretty good. Normal summon, use the effect. We're going to be able to play underneath hand trap, or like Nib, you know, underneath our 5th summon. Going to Gearfried. We're not going to be able to beat Droll, though, which is definitely rough. But, like, in this scenario, like, activate Noble Arms right here, we just lose because, like, we grab an equip spell, get Drolled. It's better to go ahead and use Durandal's effect to destroy itself, to go ahead and add a stuff Renaud. And then we can go ahead and special summon out Renaud, adding back the Gearfried. And then we just go like a really full combo. We can go ahead and go here by banishing this. If we wanted to, we could potentially use Museum. If we wanted to protect, like go into Isolde, we want to really protect Isolde from getting hit. However, like Museum would be actually pretty solid, I think. Anyway, let's just go ahead and play through Isolde. Isolde's effect on summon. We'll go ahead and grab we're gonna grab a connector. We'll go ahead and pay cost. We'll send the 1 to go ahead and summon out. I guess arguably, guys, you should have equipped it Ogier here before you did this too. Don't skip steps like I am. Oh, wait a second. That changes things quite a bit, I think. Yeah, I think that actually changes things quite a bit. So you don't equip this. I think if you want to truly play around Nib, you have to go ahead and fire off Museum before you go Isolde and grab us. So go ahead and grab Joyous, and then equip Joyous, then send 1, summoning out the Ricardetto. So send the 1, summon out Ricardetto. Ricardetto's effect to bring back Ogier, and then we go ahead and go here into Angelica. Angelica's effect on summon will grab us the field. Now, this is what's kind of interesting here, is we can use Ogier's effect to attach itself. It doesn't matter who. Use the Museum's effect to special summon. Then, so we get use as the Museum. Then we can use Divine Sword by banishing 2. Use the Divine Sword onto here. Use her effect. Now, I think what we're going to do is I'm again going to send Renaud again, so we can end on Baron. So we go ahead and send this. This will banish itself and then summon out Roland. Then we can go ahead and synchro into Charles. We'll go ahead and activate the 2nd Museum. Pay 12 again, so we've taken 24 to grab Almus. We'll then activate the Almus, and then we'll link off Charles and go into... It's so weird to say link off Charles, go into Charles. Charles effect to equip the Charles. Museum effect... Oh, excuse me. Charles Chainlink 1, Almus Chainlink 2, targeting the Renaud. No, wait a minute. I think that's a goof. We shouldn't have sent Renaud, we should have sent Oliver. Dang, I'm messing up all over, but that's okay. That's how you get better, right? Recognize your mistakes. That's what these test hands are supposed to do. Go ahead and grab back Ogier. There we go. And then this will equip the Charles. Field spell effect to special summon the Charles. And then you can... See, this is where, honestly, adding connector sometimes can be a pain, because if we added red layer, we'd been able to just pitch red layer. So now we're kind of forced to use the Gearfried, right? Or not even use the Gearfried. We can technically use Oliver's Send the Joyous. And then, like, right here, we're open to Nib again, which is pretty bad. So, like, I guess, again, so this is what the test hands are supposed to show, right? So, like, maybe you don't add connector. I always grabbed red layer just so, like, I would never draw it because it's an awful card to draw, but maybe you just always grab the red layer just because it's a fire, so, like, you'll be able to, when you get access to Oliver, have it to pitch so you're not being forced in the situation to do this. But, anyway, let's just go ahead and play through it, and we make ourselves Baron de Fleur. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to want to draw. So I'm going to use Oliver's effect to equip here, just so that we already get it out of the way. Then I believe we move to the end phase, and we'll go ahead and bring back out Angelica, and we'll pick up Almus from the grave. And then Charles will go ahead and equip from the deck the Malgus, and then again, after almost every hand we've been able to draw, which is like awesome. Don't forget to go ahead and set the Imperm too. Don't be like a dingus like me and forget it's even in your hand, so go ahead and set Imperm. So you're going to grab Almus, equip the Malgus, use Charles's effect to destroy the Malgus, and now we can shuffle back Ricardetto, we can shuffle back Joyous, and we can shuffle back Renaud if we really want to. Go ahead and shuffle these back, and then we'll draw another card. There's not really anything we really want to draw. We already have a Droll. We already have Imperm. So now we're just looking for like follow-up and stuff like that. Truly is all we're trying to grab. So we're gonna go here and go ahead and grab Tactics, which is not too bad. So again, if you look at what we have a Pop, Spell and Trap Negate, Omni Negate, Monster Negate, Imperm, and the Droll. So like our opponent ain't winning, guys. Like there ain't no way they're gonna be able to push through and win through that. So let's just go ahead and shuffle it up and do another test hand. We might make this one the last one, and hopefully we can do this one without goofing it up somewhere along the lines and like overthinking or underthinking the combo. So I'll shuffle it up and we'll go ahead and do it. All right, guys, here we go. We'll go ahead and do a quick cut and draw 5. Just to note, guys, just so you guys are aware, going second, the deck can really have a lot of gas to play through going second, but sometimes you need to see a side deck card in order to like really get in there. So like that's why we're not doing any going second test hands, because I also don't like to like put up hypothetical boards, because then it's just easier in editing. So let's just draw our first 5 cards. Renaud, Malgus, Dolphin, Phoenix Blade, and Turpin. So this is probably, outside of the hand that we completely bricked on, this is probably the second worst hand. It's not even that bad. So I believe the correct call is to go ahead and normal summon out Dolphin, and then we're going to use Dolphin's effect. Now I'm actually going to pitch the Malgus, so we can look in the hand. And the reason I want to do that, so we look at the hand, we see they have a hand trap. Let's go ahead and rip it. So now we can equip the Phoenix Blade and then special summon out Turpin. Now, if you really want to, you can special summon it off. And actually, I actually recommend doing this just because, let's say you look in their hand and you rip a hand trap, they have Imperm, right? So you can special summon out the Renaud, and then Renaud can grab back the Malgus. And then what happens is if you make Isolde, sometimes, man, and people are going to be like, well, any player, sometimes, man, the Imperm Isolde right on the ad. And then that allows you to step up into another Isolde by having the Renaud out there. Arguably, like, we could go ahead and just cheek out, go here and go for Angelica if we really, really want to. We could do that. But I think what we're going to do is go ahead and go the normal Isolde route. Go here. Isolde's effect on summon. Instead of adding Connector, I'm just going to go ahead and grab ourselves the Red Layer. Connector would be a bad add anyway because we opened Dolphin. So we'll go ahead and grab Red Layer. We'll go ahead and use Isolde's effect. We're going to pay the cost and send 1. All right, almost. Man, how do I forget we opened? Crazy, guys. So we're going to send Metal Silver. And then we're going to summon out Ricardetto. And like I said, if they end up hitting us here, it's pretty rough getting hit here. That is for sure. But again, you'd see it coming, so like you'd be able to like know things. Like you'd probably, you know what I mean? Like you would know it's coming. If we get Impermed here because you know it's there, we could just link up into Rattan, and that's at least a battle phase disruption. I mean, it's not good, but it's like at least something. But anyway, we're going to send 1 and summon out Ricardetto, because Ricardetto is the man to help us step into Angelica. So we'll go ahead and summon out the Ricardetto. Ricardetto's effect to go ahead and special summon out Turpin. And then we go ahead and step here into Angelica. Now we go for Angelica. Angelica's effect will go ahead and add us the field spell. We can go ahead and activate the field spell, pay 12 to go ahead and grab. Now see, we can grab Durandal here actually. If we grab I think we grab Durandal. I think that's the play. Then you can banish 2. We'll go ahead and banish Ricardetto and Turpin, or Ricardetto and Dolphin to grab back Phoenix Blade, and then we attempt to equip Phoenix Blade to Angelica, chain Angelica's effect. Now see, actually, maybe that was incorrect to grab the Durandal. I think that was incorrect. Don't grab Durandal. Dang, we're already goofing. Just go ahead and stick to the game plan. I'm doing major miscalculations here. So then you send Gearfried. But the reason I thought I could grab Durandal and then I could use the ability of whatchamacallit. I could like grab. I was thinking I was gonna be able to make Baron somewhere down the line, but that is not gonna be able to happen. I see that now. I'm lost and caught in the sauce, so I'm just living the moment. So that's why we're messing up. But that's okay. We're catching these things, and this is just showcasing you guys. Like again, there's like a lot of thought that goes in this deck, man. Like a lot of thought. We go here. We then can go ahead and... Yeah, we go ahead and equip Almus. Then we go ahead and use Turpin's effect to equip itself, use the field spell to special summon, and then we can go right here for Charles. Technically, we could have waited the Almus, you know, we didn't have to. Effect of Almus, go ahead and grab back the Gearfried. Go ahead and use the effect of Roland to attach itself. We're gonna go ahead and link down into Charles. Charles' effect will grab out the attach the Emperor, and then so that's where we'll go ahead and go Gearfried, banish this, summon itself out. We'll go ahead and link up here. I mean, technically, if you look, so this is actually a good spot to bring up right here. If you looked at the hand and you know you're playing against like a trap deck like Labyrinth and stuff like that, you could definitely turn these guys here into Baron, which would not be too bad of an idea. But again, just for the simplicity, we'll go ahead and go here to make the Retin. And then this is kind of what we're doing during the end phase. You know who gets to come back is Angelica. And then Charles picks up Metal Silver. And I really, really, really want to equip the Malgus from the hand so then like we can shuffle back. But in order to like lock in make the Metal Silver lock firm and like to ensure that we're gonna win, because just being able to like have like non-targeting is just pretty crazy. Because that means if they have Imperm, they still can target Charles. They just have to target Charles, and that forces us to use our spell and trap negate. So realistically, by doing this, we're able to play around more stuff like that. In the hindsight, you know, like we can normal summon this the following turn, and then like we can either pop it, we can link off, we can either like we could synchro into something if we want to. If we end up playing the Power Load Ogre, you can normal this and link these up into Power Load, and then like Power Load to clear some cards, which would be pretty cool, and then be able to shuffle back 3 and draw. But this is our inboard, guys. So again, we're staring at a Battle Phase pop, Spell and Trap negate, Monster negate, Roland's a quick effect to equip, so Charles is the pop. Anything that targets a monster cannot be used. And yeah, so that's it, guys. That's all the testings we'll do today. Cutting it short a little bit before an hour, but I figure like this is like some really cool stuff. You guys are gonna get to see like the thought process and stuff. And like I said, I mess up a few times. It happens. We're human, but that's why test hands are called test hands. We're testing, we're trying to see different routes we can go. So please, if you guys saw anything I could do different, let me know your guys' experience down below. But most importantly, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. This is Charles from Team COG, signing out.